So I'm back as I am. Yes, I did. Subhashish, if you are watching me right now, let me bring you in. I do see that there's something. Um, Let me see if I can bring you. So basically, you have to. Let's see. Mm, Subhashish. So great. Okay. So here we are once again. That so since the last time I Hey Gazala, hi Rima. I found out that the whole thing today here is that want I want a friend to join and in the conversation. And the conversation today is, how does a product or service, use of product or service, impacts a community by where it is made from. So as to the recent banning of about 59 made in China apps, well, the Indian government has not specifically said made in China apps, and they've banned it. It's just that out of in the interest of national security for India, that India took this decision to made this decision to ban many apps, 50 plus apps. So I wanted to find out from my friends, you, that how much do you know, that what sort of impact does the use of any product or service is defined or makes in within a community by the fact that it's made from some country. So that is going to be our discussion, and let's see if I can once again invite Subhashish. Subhashish, if you can join me. Oh, okay. So I do see Rima, and I'm inviting Rima. I don't see Subhashish. So is Subhashish. So Subhashish, here I just sent you an invite. Let me. Okay, so I do have a couple of people that I invited. All right. So Rima, I'm here. Okay, Subhashish says I'm here, but I want to see if Subhashish is really here with me. Let me check here. All right, so it doesn't look like. Anyhow, so Subhashish, I wanted to find out if you are able to say a few words. Let's see if you're able to do that. So Subhashish says that he's here, and I read something that anyways let's carry on while we figure out how to join the discussion. So I did invite let's carry on. Subhashish, figure out how to join the discussion.
Yes.
So I did. So Subhashish, I just wanted to check if I can see you. I'm actually I'm live, and I do not see you, but I don't know if Rima, can you see Subhashish with me? Although, it's online and virtual. So
Did you get a chance to add me back? I think you had taken me out of your friends list yesterday to check something, and then
Oh
did
no,
you get?
I never did that actually. So you're still
Okay, you
there.
didn't.
Yeah. I don't like to take out good friends out of the list. So Rima says no, I can't. Rima, let's see if you can join in the conversation as well, because I want to see that if you Rima is in Mumbai. So,
Okay.
all right. So, since Subhashish is here, Subhashish, I'm very excited. I actually spent a couple of hours at night trying to figure out how to have you join me in the conversation. So, the whole point of the conversation today is about. You may have read, you may have heard that there are so many apps that have been banned from India in the
Right.
interest of national security. And
That
they
is
have not particularly mentioned China word. However, it's pretty understood because, hey, anything you see around you, or I'm not saying in the house, but everywhere, so it's everything is made in China. And if I remember very clearly, some of the flags of America also,
are
it's
made in
4th
China.
of July. It's 4th of July. So it is not made in USA. So that is now I did not, if you have noticed, I did not say that it's made in China, because many years ago I had bought a flag. If you see, I'm wearing the national flag color, blue, red,
Right.
and white. Yes, we are
Yes.
celebrating 4th of July, the Independence Day of
That
India.
is right.
Now, Subhashish, I had posed a question that how much of an impact, or what sort of impact we put by the use of Anandi has, hey Anandi, Thane is also here. Thane, you can join us if you want. Would be great to have you, because the discussion is that how much of an impact we put in a community by the use of any product or service, by the fact that its origin or where it is made
Where it
from.
is made. Yes.
So yes, Subhashish, tell me.
I hope everyone can hear me. I hope everyone can hear me.
I don't know, but yeah, you continue. You
Okay.
continue. Yeah.
So the implications of where we buy things from is directly upon the whole supply chain. The supply chain exists because there is some demand.
Correct.
Right? If you take the example of India and Pakistan, the two countries which have been perpetually at war with each other for the last 70 years or so.
Right.
Hot and cold, it keeps going.
Yeah.
India and Pakistan actually have a very strong supply chain, which they maintain between each other.
Okay.
Though this is for unfinished goods, these are raw materials. The betel leaf, which is so very well loved all over India and is very, very common to see people chewing on betel leaves after lunches or dinners, especially. A very big quantity of that is exported from Pakistan into India. If they stopped that export tomorrow, I think a good 30% of India would have to do without betel leaves.
True.
Same goes for tomatoes. Indian tomatoes are in very high demand in Pakistan.
Wow.
In fact, matter of fact, last year, because of the tensions between the two countries, the tomato export from India stopped, and there was Pakistani TV hosts were discussing recipes without tomatoes. So there is a very basic underlying strain of sharing that we have in our human existence that runs through our basic survival instinct, I would say, where supply is because there is demand somewhere.
Correct.
We have naturally become dependent upon the manufacturing hub of the world, which is China, for so many things that we source from there, for so many things that we use. China has been at the top of the most favored list of trading countries, trading partners.
Playing from Trisha's MacBook Pro.
But that dependency, of course, has to be weaned at some point. And I'm not saying this because this is something bad for US or I am biased against China or anything else. It is a good thing if every country becomes, or every locality becomes, self-dependent again. We seem to have become dependent on so many other sources for our sustenance. Today, the way we are living in quarantine, we realize that if we were a self-sustaining microcosm, we could have sustained ourselves much better with a kitchen garden. If we don't have a kitchen garden, something inside the apartment somewhere in a secluded area where at least we are growing our own herbs, where we are growing our own vegetables. We get some exposure to life as, our ancestors knew it.
Correct.
Otherwise, all our, food basically comes from the grocery. We are not
True.
doing anything to make any efforts to grow that food ourselves. And that is true for things like apps, things like everyday goods that we use right from the, tumbler to the dish, all the way to the television that we watch and the phones that we're using.
Correct.
Everything comes from somewhere else. And with that comes the threat of not being able to use them wholly because the supply chain may be affected at some point. I think self-sustenance is very important.
Very important, yes. So yesterday again, I also saw a very interesting protest that's going on, that was organized by the Federation of Indians Association in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut. So it's an association of Indians in America.
Yes.
And what interesting thing was to find was that yes, of course, they are holding placards. So Subhashish, let me just tell you that I'm holding this phone, as you can see, because I do not see. I want my listeners and my friends also to hear you, to be able to see you and your expression also. So as I was saying, that what is interesting about that news is that Indians in America were holding a different kind of placards which said boycott China, and we don't want this, that, and all, stop bullying, and then a lot of different kind of very interesting hashtags and slogans. And what I also saw, that there were supporters from Taiwan also. Then there were supporters from Tibet also.
Yes.
So Tibetans in America, Taiwanese in America. So New York, Times Square is something, New York City is very close to my heart. New York is a place where I just love New York, because New York is the place where I learned, about 20 years ago, I learned the value of family relationship, brother, sisters, love, my country, my home. So 20 years ago, I was very young. And so I have a special place of New York City in my heart. And Times Square especially is a place that where I see that world comes to meet, and with a common purpose, under common grounds that of friendship, love. And here in Times Square yesterday, I saw people holding placards and all these slogans. But what I found, I started thinking that, is it about the China, boycotting China or something? It's about the leadership, right? That it's about the leadership, that for any country, that the way that they're saying that stop bullying around. You're just, why are you just breaching the UN treaties, and, stop expanding, and, so these kind of things. So it all comes down
I agree with that. I actually agree with that. And holding it in Times Square gave them a lot of political mileage as well, because this was covered all the way from the New York Times to the Times of India.
Correct.
This news got prime time first page
Yeah.
coverage.
Yeah.
For those who may have forgotten, the government of Tibet is actually in exile in Dharamsala in India. The Dalai Lama still lives there.
Correct, correct.
And that happened decades ago due to Chinese expansionism when Tibet, which was a huge independent country all by its own, was just swallowed by Chinese, leaders. I do not blame the regular Chinese population for this. They
Correct.
did not make those decisions.
Yeah.
It's the leadership which makes.
It's the leadership. It's the leadership because see, when you talk about when you generalize, we have friends, right? Subhashish, you have friends. You work with them. It's like they are part of our family. We are commoners, and for every country, this lies true that it is about the leadership where it is taking the whole nation towards, and we are the people. Yes, most of the times we suffer because of some poor decisions that have been made, or not a good leadership being shown, or so I feel that it is more about the leadership that needs to be straightened up. It's like the bad kid in the crowd and trying to just bully around. I feel that way. But at the same time, I was also reading about Indians living in China, and they have expressed their views that how much they love their neighborhood, their friends, people around, how much they are supportive, how much, and it's true because that happens in India also.
Yes.
We hail from the eastern part of India, which is West Bengal and Kolkata, right? So Kolkata is very famous for the Chinese place.
I think it has the largest Chinatown
in India. In India. I know that there's in Delhi also. I've heard about it. I've never been there, but yes. So it is not about you, me, the common people around. It is about what sort of, how we raise our voice together, collaboratively against the leadership. So every individual is getting affected, whether I'm in India, America, or any African country, or no matter where. So yes, it is about leadership that we must raise our voice against, and so
yes, completely, and we do that we vote with our wallets.
Yes, that's right. Hey, Subhashish, I just wanted. Yes, please stay tuned. And so Subhashish, I have Prasanjit Chakraborty who is watching from West Bengal currently. Hey Prasanjit, thank you so much for watching. So Prasanjit has been in India due to, of course, we all are going through, everyone's situation is similar, that we are homebound, right? And so Prasanjit has been there in India. He's staying there with his mother, and while his family is here in the US. So Prasanjit, thank you so much for being so strong, taking care of your mother, and also at the same time your concern about how soon to get back to your family in America. Satyajit Sarkar is also watching. Satyajit, thank you so much for joining. So let me once again remind all of us that we are having a discussion on the impact that is put by the use of product or service by where it is made from. So I have a couple of things. I actually so Rima says, hi Prasanjit, that's nice. Rima, I wanted you to join our conversation as well. So you see, Subhashish, I've got a couple of things that I want to share. So one of them is a cricket ball that my husband I think it's custom made, so just as a souvenir he brought it many years ago, and So I was trying to find few things that is made in India around the house. Actually, there are many things that is made in India. So and there's the the point I'm trying to make here is there are hundreds of things, as you mentioned when you began discussing about this topic, that it is very important to be self-reliant. Right. It's very, very important, as now there's a new campaign also set forth by the Indian government, which is called Atma Nirbhar Bharat.
Yes.
Right. So self-reliant India. And there are so many opportunities to do so. I remember you were trying to show me your sister made things with her hands. My sister does that too in Mumbai. That's her. She makes all these bath and body. In fact, Rima is here, and bath and body products. She's initially started using them because, thinking that why to rely on products that I do not know what it is made of or what the ingredient is, or just to have the best for my own family. She started doing this, and now she is doing such a wonderful job doing it. And she also trains. Yeah, she also, not only, she is not just there, she also trains the housekeepers, or her friends and people who come to help with the house chores or other work. She also tells them and trains them how to be self-reliant. So I'm not saying that you will earn big bucks and no, it's not like that. It's self-reliance is very important. It's essential.
I don't know if everyone understands Hindi here, but there is the sagun, which is the materialistic, and the nirgun, which is something that you cannot actually hold and count and everything. And that self-sustenance is that nirgun part, for which you do not see the money, but you are making a lot of progress in terms of your health, your mental being, more you do. So
That's correct.
When you have a minute, I want to go over, I want to tell you a couple of stories about, my experiences in India last year, and of course related to those.
Please go ahead. We have 10 minutes before we wrap up. Definitely,
so
it's all yours.
Here I would like to say that this big conglomerate called Reliance Industries, they took the lead in the Make in India campaign. Mm-hmm. Let me give you a little disclaimer here. I do not work for Reliance. I am in no way associated with them. I have a very good friend who is behind the whole Geo initiative. Mm-hmm. And last year I had some chance to visit Reliance campus in New Bombay and look at their infrastructure. They are probably the only telecom company in the world that can claim that they make all their equipment themselves. They usually there is some equipment which is outsourced from China by most other telcos, but they don't do that. When this crisis broke out and all of these threats happened, I think Jio was the first company which came out and made this app called Jio Meet, which, by the way, has been taken away from our platforms for right now for re-engineering it, but it should be back in 3 or 4 days. We should be back. Mm-hmm. With Jio Meet. Please do use Jio Meet if you feel like using it. I think Zoom has a 40-minute or 45-minute
free.
Yes. Yeah. The Jio does not give you any such limitations. You can add up to, I think, 10 people, and you can have limitless conversations on video of Jio. So that was a quick initiative that one of my very close friends took. I wanted to mention. They did not use any of the Atmanirbhar funds, but there are some Atmanirbhar innovative funds also available for anyone who wants to contribute to the Indian development. If you guys are hearing me, please jump into this headlong.
Yep.
As well as I spent some time in India last year, and I really got the sense that people in India today are much more aware of self-sustenance and building their own supply chains. than they were even 5 or 6 years ago.
Correct.
In the last decade, because of social media, because of the connectivity that we have, every kid is carrying a cell phone today.
That's right.
Their screens are bigger than ours. Because of that, they are so well connected, so much more knowledgeable, that today that self-sustaining cycle is happening in India. COVID has imposed this on us.
Yeah.
Let's take advantage of this. When we come out, let us come out stronger, better, and healthier.
Absolutely right, Subhashish. I completely agree with you. And I'd also like to read what Rima has written, that in terms of value, money is not everything. There is something beyond all this, which gives you an internal calmness and pleasure, happiness. Surya is also watching. Surya, thank you so much for watching. As you see that we are in a discussion about how the use of a product or a service impact our community by the fact that it is made in a certain country. Yes, definitely, Subhashish, and you supported when I started with the question that yes, it is very, very important that being self-reliance, and it's not just you're just thrown into the dark. There are so many opportunities that we are offered, that we see around. It's just that, and also it's not just that you're on your own. There's so many helping hand out there. Please do write to me, connect with me on my Facebook page, and I'd like to hear more from you. And as I said, that Subhashish agreed to join me as my guest today, and the conversation will actually go on. It is a continuous conversation that we need to keep talking about, because here two things that we are talking about, that it is not about the country but the leadership that we are closely following. If it's turning, what is the leadership turning into? Is it turning into is it turning the whole nation towards dark side? Or is it actually bringing all the positive thoughts that a progressive thought that a nation can bring to its citizens, to its people? And the other thing that you also said is that yes, self-reliant, being self-reliant is very important, and I think it's a blessing in disguise. COVID-19, as today we all are homebound, and it has come to us as a blessing that we are able to give some thought to take that pause and think, go within and see what are the areas that we can actually look into and improve and work on and be self-reliant. So, Subhashish, I'd like to thank you, but we'll continue this conversation again next week, because I'm 100% sure I'm going to get feedback from our conversation, and we'll work on that. But I would definitely like to have you back next time again. And also, while we are here, please do not forget that tomorrow I always wondered, are superheroes for real? So tomorrow I have a special guest, and he is actually in they say front line, right? I'm a soldier's daughter, and I always knew that, my dad being a soldier, and, that's the front line, protecting country people and all. And these, in the current crisis, our soldiers and also our healthcare workers. So tomorrow is a conversation with a healthcare professional, and right from Mumbai, and how he and his team, the efforts they have put, they have been able to flatten the curve in the Dharavi area, and they are continuing their work. So to answer my question whether superheroes are for real, I will be joined by this amazing, wonderful personality in the healthcare industry, and we'll be talking. So please do join tomorrow's noontime chat with Trisha and Subhashish. I will stay tuned and keep in touch, and we will continue the conversation. Thank you
Thanks for
so
having me,
much.
Trisha.
Yes, sure. Thank you so much. I'm going to this will be on Facebook, so your friends can also watch. So thank you so much once again, and thank you everyone. And with that, I say thank you to Subhashish, because you're going to be back, and also I just wanted to say that we will be continuing the conversation, and as I always say, today, now, in bidding goodbye to you all, I would say hello from America and namaskar from the world. And this is Trisha Mukhopadhyay. Once again, will be appearing tomorrow in front of you all. If you have a life, that means if you're on Facebook, if you are on social media platforms, definitely there's so much about you. There's a story about your life that everyone, each one of us we have to hear it. So connect with me, and we shall have noontime chat with Trisha. Thank you all.